Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we're going to do a marathon for JK that he sponsored. Thank you so much, which is called Instrumental Joy. And it says also Instrumental Joy. But most of these instrumentals are from 1970, between 1960 and 1970-ish. So yeah, I'm super down. It says here, after making you read lyrics on the 4th of July, here's a marathon where you can just listen to the music. I appreciate that. But don't worry, I do love the lyrics and it's very interesting, you know. But yeah, I'm obviously gonna love this as well. Instrumental music is just, I guess, my favorite genre, you know. So we're gonna start it off here for JK and for you guys with Santana. This is from the Abraxas album. I've done some from this album. Let's see what I did. We did Black Magic Woman, and that was the whole like, oh my god, like I can't believe this is not written by Santana. And I think the one that we're gonna do is Zamba Pa Ti or Samba Pa Ti. I think it's not. I think did I research that and was not his either. Let me see. Samba Pa Ti. It says Santana, but let's see. Let's find out for real. Let's see who wrote it. I mean, of course, he made it famous, but let's see. Samba Pa Ti is an instrumental by Latin rock band Santana. And it says here, the song was written by Carlos Santana. Oh, okay. After he witnessed a jazz saxophonist playing in the streets outside of his apartment. That is so cool. So it is his composition. And it was covered by others. So see, he does covers, but also he does legendary songs who get covered. You see? All right, so that's his. Then The Mexican Connection by Billy Joel from the album Street Life Serenade. So I've done some from Street Life Serenade by Billy Joel, but not this one. Then Zorba the Greek by Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass. Cool, that's so cool. From the album Going Places, 1965. Then Classical Gas by Mason Williams from the album Mason Williams Phonograph Album. It says, okay, so you probably already know it, but we would still love to see your reaction. I don't know, maybe it does sound familiar, Classical Gas, but and then Memphis Underground by Herbie Mann from the album Memphis Underground. A little jazz funk flute to top things off. Thank you so much, JK. All right, so yeah, I'm definitely curious about all these. And give me just 1 second. All right, here we go with Santana. So he's always surprising me more and more, this man, with his amazing chops. Here we go. Oh my god. I know this. Okay. Yes, definitely. I know this, but you know what? I don't think I've ever listened to this version. I've heard this being covered by so many people in Mexico, just in different bars. So yeah, definitely a dance song, you know, like a love ballad. So yeah, let's play it from the beginning because I definitely know this. I might even like played this, you know, this lick just because I was figuring stuff out. Oh man, I didn't know it was Santana. Okay, that's kind of embarrassing. But okay, let's play it from the start. Okay, I know that everybody takes a solo here, sometimes crazier, sometimes, more in the vein of Santana. I guess there's a lot of guitar players who are like, okay, this is my moment to shine, because I think what we hear now is more improvisation, but I love here, yes, I've heard the song many old times, never this version, but I've heard it played by so many great guitar players, but I never really heard like that. It's like this one very fuzzy guitar and then this other guitar that does like the harmony parts. That sounded amazing, like this little lick, and then the keyboard as well, that was missing. So I guess, this is like obviously the real deal here. Fantastic. It's just like Santana just like surprises me more and more, and yeah, I'm ready to go down the rabbit hole, of course. And what is this? Okay. And yeah, let's continue. Now I'm gonna go back. I know sometimes when I cut off the videos, people get annoyed, but yeah, I needed to say something. I wanted to say something. So let's give it up for the solo here. So good. Wow, that sound. Beautiful guitar sound, like this reverb, and he has such a beautiful guitar tone. It's not too distorted. It has a nice, delay on there, reverb, a little bit of chorus. It's just very easy to listen to. And his lines, I've always talked about this because he is famous, for the Dorian mode. And it's just a very beautiful, like, if you're gonna use, certain scales or modes, it's a good one, to learn and to use. And he was also using the melodic minor scale here and the blues scale, the pentatonic scale, all that good stuff that it's very easy to use to improvise over, 3 chords and stuff like that. Beautiful. And so one thing that's kind of cool here as well, the Zorba the Greek from Herp Albert and the Tijuana Brass. About Tijuana, we're going to Tijuana next week, and we've been there already, but we're going to visit a friend, going to stay there for 5 days. That's why for those 5 days, there's we're recording everything because we're gonna be away for 5 days and we want the channel to be, you know, active. So yeah, but this is a lot of Mexico here because Santana obviously is a Mexican, and then we're gonna play now the Mexican Connection from Billy Joel, and then we're gonna listen to Herb Albert and the Tijuana. But so a lot of Mexico here. Really, I like it. So let's give it up for Billy Joel and the Mexican Connection. Here we go. To sing, but it's so now. The egg shaker. Oh man, this is what a wonderful tune. I love how Billy Joel always expands on the chords he plays. You know, like, so fantastic. The egg shaker. There's so many cool instruments. When we moved from Germany to Mexico, like for example, like that was I know there's a special instrument. I don't really know what it's called, but I remember that was shocking to me because when I moved there, I first moved there when I was 14, and then I returned to Germany to finish some school because I didn't speak any Spanish or any English, and then I came back when I was 16. But when I was 14, it was just baffling to me to see when we would drive the bus sometimes. Kids would get on the bus with like literally like a water bottle. And since they're like shaped like this, and they had a comb and they would just like start singing, and that was, they would play the rhythm like that and just use that rhythm and then sing, you know. And that, and they were basically working. And now it's not allowed anymore. You would have like musicians get on the bus, sometimes the dad and the son, you know, the dad would play the guitar, the son or the daughter would play the rhythm, or they would play harmony, they would sing in harmony on the bus. I think it's not allowed anymore. Even the clowns are gone. People who would do magic tricks, all there, that would all be in the bus, and the bus was full. And so these, you know, they would sometimes play like up here because they couldn't hold the guitar. It was just crazy and amazing, like to see. And yeah, that stuff doesn't happen in Germany, and I don't think in the United States either. So, but it was just really cool to see, you know. And that's what the vibe that I got from this one here by Billy Joel. Beautiful Latin flavor here, you know. And yeah, I did expect him to start singing because he's such a lyricist, such an amazing lyricist. So I was like, okay, what interesting things is he gonna sing about today? And there was an instrumental. So but yeah, just like keep it in your mind, Nick. It's all instrumental music. So next song here is Zorba the Greek. Let's see the year. Again, 65. Okay, cool. And so the Tijuana brass is backing up here. So let's give it up. Let's check it out. There's Alexia right there in the background. No, but she's like, she does the Mexican, you know, scream that, ay, you know, sometimes when she's in a very good mood. But I think I've heard this Zorba the Greek. I think it was even a Greek themed movie. I think it was My Fat Greek Wedding. And I think at the I'm not sure. It sounds, you know, it's the music. It has a certain style, and the scales are obviously within the musical genre. But I think there's a scene from My Big Fat Greek Wedding when they get married. I think after the wedding, there's a music like this. It's very Greek, and it's just like recognizable. But I don't think I heard that Mexican brass. Which beautiful. Like, I love trumpets. I love mariachi music. I love it. Actually, it's so sad because Alexia hired a mariachi band and they never showed up at the wedding. So that was super sad. But we had a mariachi band at her birthday 2 years ago, and it was amazing. I love mariachi. I could listen to mariachi music every day. It's just beautiful because it's not banda or, you know, it's not, it's just very folklore, and it's just very rich, and it's like classical music, but Mexican classical music. So, all right. Oh man, I love this. This is this is the original composer is Mikis Theodorakis. And so yeah, there's like 10 different versions, but this was just one. But I love that you chose the Mexican brass version, because it really, I don't know, it just sounds amazing, these trumpets. And there's so many tales I could, talk about Mexico. Like when we first got there, it's so long ago, but I really I didn't like it at all. It was, so basically we left in November on a snowy day. So I remember it so well. It's so long ago, but I remember the day we left and it was snowing. It was almost like we left our house, can you believe it, to the airport. So we had to say, we put a whole bunch of stuff in a storage container, and we just left with nothing, just like with clothes, my parents and I, and my brother, and then we were gonna get all the stuff, and later. But when I got there, I just didn't like it at all. I didn't like anything. The heat, and it was humid, it was sea level from the mountains and the Alps, I mean, and I didn't understand I understand a lot because of the Italian, but it just didn't make a lot of sense to me that it was different at the time. And I don't know, I just didn't like it at all. And in Mexico, if you've ever been to Mexico, or maybe at that time, to a small town like Puerto Vallarta, I'm sure a lot of people have gone to Puerto Vallarta, but it was just so weird. There was a different smell literally at each corner in the street, or you would walk by a block and there was like all these stores, and every store had like a different smell to it, and was just bizarre to me, because in Germany everything is kind of like closed off and sanitary, and it was just weird, you know. But now when I go to Mexico, I love it. And I don't know, we always romance with that idea, you know, of retiring in Mexico, you know, because it is really beautiful and very, I don't know, you know, you can still, it's very, very different, you know. I know that a lot of people, they do retire in Mexico because they know it's just like so much different, so much more different than the US or Europe, you know. Yeah. So let's see what happens, you know, in the future. All right. So now this classical gas. So let's see if I know this one by Mason Williams, because maybe I did do classical gas. Let me see. Let's see, classical. I don't see it. But well, I mean, you know, I'm sure JK knows my reactions way better than I do. I forget so much. And not that I didn't like them and that's why I forget them. It's because it's so much that I just can't sometimes remember. But here we go with Mason Williams. Let's check him out. Wonderful. But call me crazy. I didn't know this. Where is this from? Let's see. It's an instrumental musical piece composed and originally performed by American guitarist Mason Williams with instrumental backing by members of the Wrecking Crew. Yeah, it's like that Baroque. It has that classical vibe to it, but that's so crazy. If I've heard it in a different setting, maybe not the original, then let me know. But this was awesome. Today we just did something really, really cool as well. We listened to Fantasía para un Gentil Hombre from Joaquin Rodrigo. And that was literally classical guitar, like the nylon string classical guitar, but with a orchestra. And that was just mind-boggling. And then we heard that same version, Canario by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, from the album Love Beach. So that was also like that. I did that with Alexia. So yeah, wonderful. So far, what a great marathon. I would love to add like something by Yngwie Malmsteen that I consider one of the best classical, not classical, the best instrumental like guitar, but I want to do it with Alexia, so I'll wait. And it's not metal, it's literally like, it's beautiful. It's I don't want to spoil it, so yeah, I'll do that in a different video, but give me just 1 segundo. All right, so now for the last one here, we have Herbie Mann, Memphis Underground. And this is from the Memphis Underground album 1969. Let's check it out. This is a more epic. I always call it epic when it's longer than 5 minutes. So 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Here we go. Also Latin flavored. improvisations. Very cool. Definitely had like also like a Latin undertone, and I loved all the improvisations, all the different instruments taking you know, a solo here. And but yeah, it reminded me a little bit of like songs, like a little bit, those are I guess a bit jazzier, like, you know, Take Five and Rondo. What was it? It wasn't Rondo a la Turk. Was it Rondo a la Turk? By, let me see, Rondo. Dave Brubeck, yeah. Blue Rondo a la Turk, because Rondo a la Turk is of course Mozart. But yeah, very, very cool. The whole, I it's so enjoyable. Like Santana, you know, wonderful. I mean, everything he has done, you know, the jazz fusion, the pop stuff he did later, but also this period here, the 70s period, is wonderful. Billy Joel, that was a surprise, you know, because usually all of his music has heavy lyrics and very, very good. Then this one was a lot of fun. Zorba the Greek, that was just, I think what sold it so well was the Mexican brass section. Then classical gas, very surprisingly, I didn't remember that at all. And that's the one that you mentioned in the email that I would remember. Definitely. And then Memphis Underground, that was beautiful. The, you know, the flute, and then all the other instruments that took a solo. Very, very cool. Just a very relaxing marathon. I hope you enjoy, everyone. You know, I think sometimes it's so cool to put these videos on. You don't really have to watch them, you know. It's not like I do, like, I don't overreact to anything. I just like to listen and, you know, say what I have to say, you know, and enjoy. And you can do the same. You can, you know, play these in the background and maybe work on a painting or whatever you're working on, you know. That's what I do with music, you know. I just play it, or I listen to a lot of audiobooks, or I listen to well, on Spotify there's like these podcasts, and I just listen to what they have to say. They don't have any music, but sometimes I would prefer they would have a little bit of music now and then. So but yeah, that's what I do. So if you want to use it at that as well, I do recommend it. And that way you're watching, but you're not like glued to the screen, you know. Again, thank you so much, JK. This was a wonderful idea. And yes, it was a little bit, oh, you can see the button, you can see how I move. It was almost like, you know, a little bit of a palate cleanser. Not that I didn't enjoy both marathons on the 4th of July marathons. On the contrary, I've literally re-listened already to those two. There's such good music on there. And but it was just like to focus on the music more. This was very nice. And I think this is the first video that I do with the we did a couple of changes. You can see, I mean, I'm pointing at the mouse on it, but you can see the Joni under the button. You can see the button the first time, and we moved around a couple of things. Let's see if you can see what we moved around. You don't have to find everything, but yeah, we did move some items around. So again, thank you so much, JK. This was a wonderful marathon. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment maybe if you want to, a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. It's free of charge, remember, and I hope I'll see you all in the next one.